You won't believe it, but today we are talking not about ghosts, but how a psychologist breaks down delusions. Sue Ruining comprehended that even though Renzaio knew deep down in her heart that ghosts simply don't exist, she was still striving hard to self-soothe. The departed, no matter how much you love them, are simply out of reach. No need to kid yourself. Subtitles. Once you've come to terms with this, life will become a bit easier. Dr. Zhu, you're nearly winning me over. I have to ask, why have two people been lurking behind you since I walked in? Stop pretending to be mysterious and playing ghostly tricks on me. She's gone, so just stop putting on this farce already. Rinzai wasn't having any of it. She insisted on describing the man and woman, right down to their shapes. Team Su Ruining is still skeptical, even as Rinzai correctly states Su Ruining's birthday. What a coincidence! That's nothing. See, anyone can look up your birthday if they are determined. They even pointed out, "You're scared of water?" That's hilarious. Su Ruining was ready to sprint for the door, but she was stopped as Rinzai claimed those two have been standing there, all wet and wild. Su Ruining recalled that since Rinzai walked in, she had been staring that way with a frightful look. Could there really be something over there? Look, the water is actually dripping onto your shoulder. Enough already. Do you believe me or what? Captain, that title nearly short-circuited Su Ruining's brain. It was a nickname from her lover, known by almost no one. She just wanted to bull, but Rinzai was starting to dig up the secret she desperately wanted to keep buried. This made Sue even more uneasy, but the opponent wouldn't stop. Move aside. What are you planning to do with that hand? Haven't you hurt enough people already? Right then, Sue Ruining felt like her secret had gone public. Cold sweat broke out, and she thought it was suddenly raining on her head. Subtitle. Wait, this is really rain. It's bizarrely pouring down in the room. With Rinzai's account, more and more fragments of memory came flooding back, and she didn't dare to remember, just wanted to bail. Think hard about the stores I mentioned. Life, drivers, the deceased, hospitals. Water, 502. See, it all came rushing back. 503, no way. 502 was the bar's name. A few years back she was there with her girlfriend, Chen Ting, celebrating a friend's birthday, and boy, did they party hard. Subtitles. On the way back, Su Ruining insisted on driving by herself, despite Chen Ting's constant reminders to pay attention to safety. But in a split second of distraction, tragedy struck. The car went off the guardrail and plunged into the river. By the time she woke up, her friend in the back was already silent. Chen Ting had also lost consciousness, and she desperately tried to save her girlfriend, but couldn't undo the seatbelt. In the end, only Su Ruining survived this accident, and she finally realized she was responsible for the death of her lover and best friend. Rinzai continued to relay the words of the ghost couple, surprisingly saying she already forgave you. The woman said her love for you has never changed. Su Ruining finally began to believe Rinzai. When you wake up, you'll remember everything. Let go of every burden. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Hujai, Amy. Why did Su Ruining lose this memory? Back to the time after the accident. The overwhelming guilt triggered her PTSD. She was on the brink of collapse. To erase the painful memories, she started self-hypnosis. She used her best hypnosis techniques to actively forget. That memory vanished into thin air. Ever since, Su Ruining seemed back to normal, but that was far from the case. She began sleepwalking, wandering around at night with a knife, like she was about to self-harm again. Su Ruining's parents were super worried, so they called in her mentor, Professor Fang, for help. Professor Fang quickly spotted Su Ruining's problem. She needed treatment fast, or else. Yu Jai was one of Professor Fang's brightest students and a good friend of Su Ruining's. She specialized in waking hypnosis, getting people hypnotized without them even noticing. But when awake, people's defenses are at their peak. She secretly drugged Su Ruining's coffee, putting her in a fatigued state. After Su Ruining had worked all day, she knocked on the door. In order to guarantee the success of the hypnosis, Kujai also implanted a new identity in her, namely Renzai. This identity wasn't fictional. Kujai's original name was Renzai, but very few people knew.